guys, Matt here. And on Twitter the other day, I was talking to Just Mike, who is a disc golf homie that I talk to every now and then on there. And he was lamenting that there are not a lot of good reviews for the MVP Atom. And I told him, hey, if you promise to watch it, I'll make a video for the Atom. So I actually used to throw Atoms as my main putting and approach putter. These are the two that I used that were in my bag in 2016 and 17. And I'll give you a quick history lesson. A lot of times when MVP makes a new disc, they'll release a version first on the MVP brand and then use the same core, that's the inner mold here, with a different outer wing shape on the Axiom brand. And a lot of times they'll be slightly less stable. That's your relationships like the Reactor to the Hex and the Octane to the Mayhem. And usually one of them ends up with a slightly stronger following than the other. But in this case, it was kind of backwards. They came out with the Envy first and then put the less stable version, the Atom, on the MVP brand. There's also a slightly even more less stable version called the Proxy that was already out on the Axiom brand. But the Atom is nice, it slots right in the middle, and I think it makes it a nice throwing and putting option. If you get a look at the difference between those two profiles, you see they're essentially identical with a slightly more rounded and low shoulder on the Atom. And that's basically the only difference. And that'll be the main difference in flight. So let's do some putts, let's do some throws, and check out how these guys fly.
So we'll start out from about 7 meters, around 22 feet, a nice little spin putt. See, they hold up my wobbly Steve Rico style putt there and go straight into the heart of the chains, no problem. Now we're going to try a loft putt from the same spot. And it holds up pretty well. It's not my most comfortable stroke, but the Atom definitely did it just fine. I feel like a deeper putter does it maybe a little better. And we're going to back up to Circle's Edge at 10 meters. Sailed that one a little bit, but overall felt pretty comfortable. And I would be fine using that disc in a tournament to make those type of putts. The loft putts were a little bit more challenging from that distance, just getting the height right, but overall felt okay with it. You can just see that they're a lot more wobbly. Now we're just taking out in the field, and I've got here the Electron Envy from my bag. Throwing these on like a Stockheiser backhand. Nice penetration there. A little bit of a low release on that one, but the freshest Atom mirrors the flight of the Envy pretty well. And you can see these little bit more beat-in ones here, showing a little bit of turn on the hyzer, and this one in particular is the most beat-in, and even on a lot of hyzer there is going a really long way with good glide. Gonna switch over to the forehand now, Envy first. Nice little flip up, holds the line really well, and gentle fade. This is the most stable of the Atoms, and it does a very similar flight again. Maybe not quite the same amount of fade. The more beat-in Atom turned a lot more. The release didn't feel quite as clean on that one or this one, but they showed a little bit more turn. And that one actually went the farthest right there.
Okay, friends, so after putting and throwing our Atoms here, I gotta say that I do remember liking putting with these. For my regular mid-snap spin putt, they work really well. As you can see on those shorter putts, they dive straight into the chains and did a really good job of sticking. Even from the longer putts, I kind of messed that one up, let it sail a little bit, but you can see the fade kick in on the ones at Circle's Edge a little bit, but it's still a nice straight putting putter for a spin putt. On the straddle putts, where I was doing the more loft style, push putt style, it was fine. I made some putts that way. That's not my normal style, so it's not quite as comfortable, but it kind of felt like eating sushi with a fork. Like, is it gonna work? Yeah, probably, but it just kind of feels wrong. I kind of feel the same way about throwing it backhand versus forehand. As you saw, they had some really nice glide backhand, especially the more beat-in one. That one just kept going. The one that is the freshest here, it wasn't a great release, but I still threw it, held the same line as the slightly beat-in Envy I was comparing these against. But the one that had got some wear, that just kept on penetrating on the backhand. Forehand, I didn't like them quite as much. You could see the Envy flip up, hold the line, push, and fade very mildly. And these guys, especially the two more beat-in ones that used to be my main putters, had a little bit more turn before they faded. Form is not perfect on those hyzer flip forehands. It's not my favorite shot, but overall, I like these guys a lot. I remember why I bagged them. I also remember why I don't. I like that little bit extra stability that Envy offers throwing, and I like a little bit slower feeling putter. That just feels like it catches the chains a little bit fatter than these. But if I was faced with going back to a putter from the MVP brands, it probably would be the Atom. They feel very reliable, very straight, and overall like the flight. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.